Hey guys, it's Trushank, your host for this channel. In today's video, I'm going to tell you about the essential document checklist which must be required to create your Express Entry profile. Usually, I make videos regarding IELTS preparation and foreign education, but I have decided to make a video about this because CRS score has dropped down significantly. In fact, in last row it had went up to 454, which was extremely surprising because last year it went up to 478. So students who scored 8777 were unable to be eligible for this program. So this is the golden period for all you there to apply for this program, and you'll be able to receive your permanent residency. So without having any further ado, let's get started. 7 main documents are required, and I'm going to discuss each and every document in detail. Firstly, let's start with language result. There are two exams which are valid for Express Entry profile, and those are IELTS and CELPIP. CELPIP is quite common in Canada. However, IELTS is most widely recognized English proficiency exam, and a vast majority of students prefer to give IELTS over CELPIP. To be eligible for this program, you need to give general training test. Academic test is required for student permit, but in order to be eligible for Express Entry program, you need to give general training IELTS. And if you want to score higher, then you need to score 8777 in your IELTS exam, that is CLB 9, in order to get the maximum point, so that the chances of getting ITA would be increased. Now let's talk a little bit more about CELPIP exam. CELPIP is quite more common in Canada, and these days even CELPIP exam authorities have started conducting it in Chandigarh and Delhi. So if you find it feasible, you can search for it, and I think these days there are some resources available, but for me I would suggest you to go for IELTS because you can find tons of resources, training institute and online tutors for this scene. Now let's discuss about the second crucial document. The second useful document is ECA report. Now you might have a question, what is ECA? ECA stands for Educational Credential Evaluation, which means you need to evaluate your degree to Canadian educational standards. There are some authorities such as WES, that is WES, IQAS, ICAS. These are some authorities which can evaluate your degrees to the Canadian standards, and they can present you the evaluation report. Based on that, you will receive your point for your Express Entry profile. Without that, you may not be able to receive the points for educations, and you may not be able to create your profile for Express Entry. Usually, the cost of getting your degrees evaluated is 250 Canadian dollars, and that is 18 to 20,000 Indian rupees. I forgot to tell you about the cost of IELTS test. These days IELTS test cost us about 14,000 INR, that is nearly $250 US. Now let's talk about the third essential document. Third significant document is valid passport. You need to upload a copy of your valid passport, first page, last page and all the pages while you are filling the Express Entry application after receiving ITA. So you need to make sure that your passport has not expired, and if it is expired, then you need to apply for a new one so that you might not face any disastrous consequences. Now let's move to the next essential document. The number 4th document is a copy of work permit if it is applicable to you. If you are on a visitor visa or work permit, then you need a copy of work permit. But if you are applying from outside Canada, as a federal skilled worker program, then this option is not suitable for you, so you might not need this document and you don't need to worry about this. Let's move to the next essential document. The fifth essential document is proof of settlement funds. See, you're coming to Canada, so you might face struggle in initial days. So IRCC has declared a set of funds which you need to show in written form. You need to prove that you have sufficient amount to survive yourselves while you are in Canada for initial period. And you can see the amount of funds required on IRCC websites. See, if you are coming single, then approximately 13,000 Canadian dollars are required. If you are a family of 2, 3 or 4, you can accordingly check the amount which are required. Now, you might have a question, how can you show this proof of fund? You can use your own saving account, but the balance should be at least 6 months old. You need to maintain a minimum balance of the given amount, otherwise you might face difficulties. Now, you might have a question that if a person might not have this much amount, then what he or she can do? And here is the answer. You can use your parents' funds, your in-laws' funds to show the IRCC that you have a sufficient balance. But for that, you need to use these funds as a irrevocable gift, and you need to notarize the document, and you need to write on that document that this is irrevocable gift and money cannot be given back. And there is some format of doing this, so you need to check, otherwise it would be difficult. And for this gift, there isn't any time limit. You can do it anytime. But if you're using your own funds, then you need to be careful that it should be at least 6 months old. You can use your fixed deposit saving account in order to show the amount which is required. Now let's move to the document number 6. Essential document is reference letter. Now you need to be very careful because it's very difficult to get a reference letter which IRCC requires, because you need to take care of many things, because IRCC wants us to have a reference letter which contains so many things. And let me tell you what those things are. Firstly, it should be on the letterhead of your company or organization. It should have a name of your organization or company on top of it with contact number, emails, fax number, and whatever details your company or organization has. Secondly, it should include your name, whether you are working full-time or part-time, number of hours per week, the remuneration, annually, monthly or weekly, and it should include your duties and responsibilities. On top of that, the letter should also include a person who might be contacted if needed. So you need to be careful. At least your letter should contain this many information. If something is missing, then it would be difficult for you, and you need to present other essential documents such as job offer letter, appointment letter, your experience letter, your salary slip, your tax return. So be careful, guys. Do everything to get a reference letter which has everything which I just told you. Now this is all about reference letter. Let's talk about the 7th and last document which you might need, and that is your job offer letter. This is not applicable for all those out there, but it is applicable for those who have received their job offer from some province or some territory, but they should have their LMIA report so that it would be easy for you to get into the Canada. So guys, these are various documents which must be required, so you need to make sure that you have everything which I just discussed, otherwise you might face rejection. Still, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. I have just created my Express Entry profile and my CRS score is 478. So if you have any question, feel free to ask me and I'll be there to help you. Do not waste your hard-earned money with agents, because eventually you would be on the receiving end. It's just a simple process and you need to take some precautions so that you might not face any disastrous consequences. Thanks a lot for bearing with me, and bye for now.